Okay. Oh no. Wait. Is the audio here? Is
Is
the
the
audio
audio here?
is the audio? Oh wait, hold on. The audio might oh, wait, is can people hear us? It occurs to me the audio might not be in here.
Is the audio here or is it not? That's the
It might
question.
it might not. Hold on just a second, guys. It's fine. I thought I wait, no, it's here. No, it's here. It is. Don't lie to me. The audio exists. Okay, sorry. I sorry, I was updating everything like the very last second. I was like, I think I got that in, and then I was like, wait, what if I didn't get it in? Anyway, hey, how's we're fine. Everyone's fine. This is live. This is what how it do. Uh, hi. It's me, Grayson, and with me as sometimes, uh, Zaiga. How are you?
Hello, hello, new people that I have no idea who you are, but hello.
Hold on, I'm blocking the chat a little. Yeah, hey. Everybody was having their own. Everyone's having their own conversation today. See, hold on, let me see here. Yiggy was the first to chat, so Yiggy wins a prize. That prize being eternal glory, I assume. I see Debbie's here and Khatun. I will strongly emphasize the K more every time. Lala's here, and I saw. Hold on. Oh, I broke it. Okay. Yeah, and Lexi, but not Lore. Hi, Lexi. Are you a first time person? Hello. I don't know if I recognize your name. Yugi says audio is cool. Debbie says you're good. Great. Thank goodness. Debbie was too old to have watched Toonami. Yeah. What is everyone talking? Like, I'm not used to you. I don't like it when chat becomes self-aware. You're not supposed to talk without me being there. What is happening here? Stars. I see stars. Bintang. Bactery. While I was at a school function. Skate night. Wow. That sounds pretty cool. Lexi says, first time watching you, looking forward to your stream. Oh, thanks, Lexi. Yeah, we're doing a podcast tonight with my good friend Zaiga. Zaiga, how are you? Sorry.
I am totally fine. I've
That's
been
so
having a
good.
good day.
That's good. The podcast title, there it is. We're a
Uh,
professional operation. Yeah.
how have you been?
I am doing pretty good. Little little sleepy, but I'm doing okay. Had a it hasn't been as hot, so work has become less tiring, which is nice because in the midsummer, like coming home from work is like death tired, but now it's just like normal tired, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I kind of feel you there. I've been really tired lately, like very tired. But
That's that's fair. Sounds like you've been having exciting in your life.
oh yeah, just everything like
Oh, hey Sagen.
the I'm sure some people know and chat about how I've been trying to get at this other job, and it's been a it's been a nightmare. And
I've
I
never
I
seen
did
a
the
higher like the
I did this medical evaluation for it a month ago, and then 1 month later they message me and be like, "Oh hey, we need to get your fingerprints now." And I'm like, okay.
it's like the most leisurely hiring process I've ever heard of. Like
Yeah,
it's it's
it's
absurd. Like you, because I think I remember you first mentioned this. Like I feel like almost like last year, even like what? How long has it been? Like it's maybe not last year,
yeah.
but like it's been a minute. Like hey Smo. Oh, and I guess is it's worth noting. We're probably gonna be. I imagine like 8:30 is probably gonna be like the normal starting time for these, right? I guess 8:30 MST.
Yeah, that might work now.
Yeah, because you have a job and such. So
Yeah, I wanted to get home and then eat something before. Um,
yeah, for some reason, some
wait,
reasonable reason.
why is there
But
honking outside my door? It's weird.
I don't know. Maybe
Uh,
they're beckoning you.
so yeah, like that, but it's all good because like even though this whole thing with this job is going down, I got a
Mm-hmm.
new bike today. So well,
Oh
no,
yeah.
I ordered a new bike. Yeah, my
Oh,
new
that's
bike is gonna be
right.
so nice.
I forgot you're a cycler.
Yes. That is what my current job that I'm doing is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's your dream job then, right?
I mean it's kind of just like a hobby, but
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I've heard that like there's that saying like it's like you probably don't want your hobby to become your job because then your hobby is a job. Like
but
there's kind of like
but
a thing
isn't
about
that
that.
what you want to do?
Huh?
But isn't that what you want to do?
I mean,
Streaming?
that is the conundrum, isn't it? It's like 'cause I like streaming because this is my time to relax,
Yeah.
and like there is that back of my brain thing is like if this became my job, what would I do to relax? Um, like I don't know about that.
You would get out there on a bike with me. We'd be
Oh,
bike
I
buddies. You said this a
tell
million
tell
times.
you what, you can if you can get like a little like wagon like attached to your bike, and I'll put my like my stationary bike in that wagon, and we'll go off together on an adventure. It'll be great.
Look, look, I've told you, like, even though I'm selling my current bike, but I would give it to you. I'd give it to you. If you were like, oh yeah, I'll take a bike, and I would be like, here.
God, I'd have to bike it though. Um, and
Yeah, but
I'll consider it. Like I mean, it probably would be good for me to actually leave the house for exercise.
getting fresh air is really nice.
I've heard it's good for you, and I think sunlight does stuff for you too, or something. It's
Yes.
like why seasonal affective disorder is a thing because people need sunlight.
Yeah.
But
But
and
anyway,
thank you for the
anime.
happy birthday wish, Iggy. Very kind of you.
But anyway,
Well, it
anime.
says the payment for the bike would be writing it. Oh, that's the worst part.
Oh wait,
Um,
it was it your birthday?
yeah, it was my birthday on Sunday.
Why didn't you ever tell me this?
I wasn't keeping it a secret. I don't know.
You were keeping me a secret. Like
I feel like I shouted it to the high heavens. You just even though you co-host this podcast, you pay so little attention to anything on this channel.
I know,
It's
I'm so sorry.
it's like it's fine. Like
I
it's
don't even know
just
what I was doing on Saturday on Sunday. Maybe I did see your stream title.
yeah. It was like, I wonder what that's about. Oh well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and you missed Lala's weddings. I missed the wedding too. Actually, so that's well,
What wedding?
Lala got married in 14.
Oh.
It was exciting, and I missed it because I was at work. But
Oh, you know, I've actually never done that feature. And I've
you
played the game since that feature came out.
wow, yeah, you're still a bachelor,
Yeah, I've never seen the need to do it at all.
but you get like a fancy mount or whatever.
I have
Yeah, Debbie
so
in
many
14.
mounts. I have so many mounts.
Yeah, but the wedding mount.
Well, it's just another mount I won't use.
But it's a two-seater, I assume.
But I have a four-seater.
Well, fine. Sit in your lonely empty mansion. I don't know. Since you're like aren't you like a
Uh,
trillionaire or something by now? Like how you've got so much like so
I'm
many things
sitting
in that
on
game.
like I'm still sitting around 70 million.
That's after you bought 2 houses, basically.
Yeah, I bought 2 houses.
Ridiculous.
And yeah, I think I was at like 150 before. But soon the money will flow again. I'm so close to
I'm so,
leveling my submarine, so
yeah. Your days in the poorhouse are almost over.
oh yeah, the days in the poorhouse are almost over,
Jeez.
and
You're
I'm soon going to be raking it in.
gonna go right back
I
to
get,
your to sweet designer level leather socks and
I'm gonna
just
be the I'm gonna be the Elon Musk of Final Fantasy 14,
jeez.
and I'm gonna rename Final Fantasy 14 to Final Fantasy X, not the 10, but just X
Yeah.
in like a fancy lettering.
Yeah. Sure. That's right. Oh dear. I
Anyway,
wonder.
this is an anime podcast, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Remember that the podcast we used to do that was about anime? Missed that.
Yes.
But yeah. So anime is pretty cool, right?
Do you
Um.
want to explain kind of like what our podcast is like to the new people here?
Yeah. So in another world of my podcast, ostensibly an anime podcast, I think we average about 60% of the runtime to be about anime. So I think we can still call it an anime podcast. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's like 30% other and 10% Zaiga being disappointed in me. Um, so
I think you need to rephrase that to everyone being disappointed in you.
no, every chat, you like my opinions, right? I suggest good anime. You all respect me. You have to because it's within 48 hours of my birthday, so you have to be nice to me still. It still counts. The tune is at 10%. Debbie says, would I consider Studio Ghibli anime? I think Studio Ghibli's anime, right? I think we actually did like an episode kind of about this, like discussing like what makes an anime. I'd for sure say Studio Ghibli is within that, right? Like
Maybe we should talk about Studio Ghibli next week.
that would actually be really fun. I would actually be totally down for Studio Ghibli week.
Yeah, sure. Let's plan on that.
Sure.
We're
Debbie.
planning on the fly. This is our planning, by the way.
No, this is actually probably the farthest ahead we've ever planned an episode. Usually I text him like the night before, I'm like, oh, what do we do? It's got to be about anime. Quick. I need to make a
Yeah,
thumbnail.
yeah. He said like our conversation this week was he texted me. He was like, "Well, okay, what are we talking about?" And I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Well, that's a problem."
I was like, oh. And I suggested we talk about isekai, and he didn't like that idea.
I literally said, "Don't we talk about isekai enough on this podcast?"
Look,
And then he
just
put a shocked face.
I was so hurt. I, I was so offended by something that's so true.
Yeah, it is
um,
so true.
also, his first anime I cried to was Wolf's Rain. I've heard of Wolf's Rain. I've seen it as the first episode of that, I think. I never got back to that one. That one looked cool though. Um, yeah. So I
But,
guess to huh?
but yeah, like some other things we talk about on this podcast is like not only anime stuff, but also like games and anime culture. And since both of us have lived in Japan, we talked about like our experiences there as well.
Yeah, that was
So
fun. Yeah, so we it kind of all goes under like the otaku umbrella generally. Like, so yeah. And Debbie, you've changed the future because you gave us a really good idea for another podcast. You too can make a difference by telling us what the heck we're doing, please.
Well, anyway,
So
what is our topic for today?
yeah, so essentially I guess I vaguely suggested like what if we talk about sad anime? It's kind of we've altered it to like basically we're going to talk about like shows that have like emotionally punched us hard enough to make us cry. Like that's like or at least like they got us like very like emotionally like worked up, right? That's kind of the idea here, like because because there's a wide range of anime that can make you experience all kinds of emotions,
Yeah,
and some of them are just scientifically tuned to the finest degree to extract tears from your ducts.
yeah.
So and so we kind of
Well,
we each kind of selected a few to talk about for such things.
but how should we, I talked to you about this earlier, but how should we define like made me cry? Are we talking about like happy cry? Are we talking about like um bawling and like unconsolable tears?
Right. I mean, I'd consider like any anime that made you like reach for like a tub of ice cream to drown your sorrows in. No, like, but no, like I think like basically like it can be like the full range because like I think you were kind of thinking about like and I know on my list like I've got well actually mine are mostly sad cry but but I mean I think it's the idea of like anything that like really just like got you like just like really emotionally invested like either that could be like to the point of like being like super sad. It could be like the happy cry you get like because I mean
Yeah.
like I think there's all ranges. So that's kind of the shtick for tonight. And of course, if people have their own shows that come to them, we'll try to incorporate your suggestions into the discussion a little bit. I do want to get a little better about having chat join us in these conversations without it being like terribly like distracting. Maybe we can reach out for y'all's opinions like between our takes or something to kind of
Okay.
just to give it a reasonable pace. Like we don't want to like interrupt our thoughts, but you know. Anyway, how are you feeling, Zaiga?
I'm
You,
feeling good.
do you
I
have
am
tissues ready?
feeling I'm feeling so prepared right now, so prepared that I'm not looking through my list.
Yeah, you're not. Do you want me to maybe go first, just in case you
Yes,
need more
yes.
time?
Yeah, you might need to go first.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. That's totally fine. So, um, I actually let's see here. Uh, yeah. So actually, I will start with this is a I'm gonna say this is like probably the most recent anime that's like really made me kind of like emotionally tear up. Well, I don't know what you mean. I pretend not to see your mean comments. I would never do that. But no. So, this is actually a season. This is a show that's coming out right now. It's a current season anime that I've
What?
gotten really emotionally invested in. Um,
Okay.
so this anime is called The Most Heretical Last Boss Queen or some stupid name. I can't ever remember it. Let me see if it's.
What?
I
Is
have
this an
no.
isekai? Please don't tell me. Please tell
It's
me it's
an
not one.
isekai. I tricked you, Zai. This
Oh
is
my
still about
god.
isekai. This episode.
No, no,
Um.
no,
So
no.
hold on. Let me. We're gonna bring up the show and tell screen. Most heretical. How do I? Oh my gosh. It
You
is the
still
most like nonsense title.
have you put installed Adblock Plus yet?
I I could look. I got things to do. Okay. Look, just everyone loves the ads that pop up and cover everything. It's part of the charm. I look, I'm trying. Um, it's so, but anyway, so the most heretical last boss queen from villainous to savior. Like, like on the surface, this is kind of like I don't know. It's because it's an isekai, and it's part of like the weirdly like popular subgenre isekai of like girl reincarnates as character from Otome game. In this case, she reincarnates as the last boss villain of like a dating sim she liked when she was alive. And the shtick of the show is that she knows because via game logic that the last boss queen is eventually defeated and dies in sadness, and so the whole show is her trying to like change that future trajectory of her life so that she doesn't die in sadness. But it's got a really good so like it's played not like it's played as a very serious show. Like it's not like a comedy at all. Like it's just a very nice drama. Like it essentially like every episode kind of plays out like she like like a flag will pop that she like a significant like story flag will pop that she'll remember, and it'll be like one of the things that lead down the path to like something terrible happening. And so then for the episode, she's trying to do her best to prevent that from happening, or at least changing the outcome. So, I mean, I guess like for comparison, imagine That's So Raven, but less funny and more dramatic. I don't know. Those who remember that show. But there was
Uh,
there. Hmm?
does it ever like go into like is it kind of like a harem, or is it like uh she's trying to change fate, but is it something like fate can't be changed, or
So it's a little like I would say it's very much not a harem. Like there's like I mean it's like the majority of the cast is male, but that's because of the nature of like because like the world is based around like a dating sim, right? So like
yeah,
it's like there's kind of like this path where like it 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 could tend that way, but like she's like there I mean there's a lot of things going on that she's really trying like to step around, and like it's really not playing as a harm. Like it's just like there's a massive chessboard of characters that are mostly like attractive males, which I'm okay with. Um,
yeah.
but I'm trying to think. But yeah, so like the most like I like I don't know, and I guess to get to the on topic thing here, like one of the more recent episodes, like I'm not quite caught up with the series. I think like I'm up to like episode 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But there was a really good episode where essentially she saw this vision where like this there's going to be this terrible tragedy that would occur that was going to kill a bunch of people, and in the process of those people dying, there was going to be this kid who was like a survivor who's gonna grow up to become like a very bitter enemy of the kingdom. And so she's trying to like prevent this disaster from happening to like basically keep this kid from becoming a villain.
Okay.
And um I mean I guess without going into like she doesn't manage to like avert the disaster, and you get this really beautiful scene where like it plays out the scene as it happened, like in like the original reality of like everything goes wrong, and this kid like goes on to just become this terrible like just awful person, and then it contrasts it with the conversation she ends up having with this kid after everything's like been fixed, and it's just this really just like this like sweet like just like so heartwarming like scene. And it made it's like even now I'm like can like all choked up. Like it really it warmed the cockles of my heart. It was really just a nice lovely scene. Oh hey
Neat.
Lum. But But yeah, so that's a currently airing show that I've really just I've become very enamored with the story, even though it's kind of like an on the surface kind of silly concept. Like I've been like fully invested in it. So anyway, that's my first one. That's like been like a real. It's really kind of made the eyes moisten.
Okay. All right. All right. I can see that. It's a good one. I've never seen it. It sounds like that other one I that I watched, but the other one I watched was kind of more of a harem and like
Like a comedy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's really hard to explain. 'Cause, like it's definitely like a show. Like it seems like it would be a comedy, but it really never goes that way. Like it has like funny moments, but like it's really not. It's definitely played very straight, which is it's different. But anyway, so did that give you enough time for to come up with your
Yeah, yeah,
show
yeah.
Zyger?
Yeah, I have a few listed here. Um the first one I'll talk about is kind of one that's oh my gosh, my voice. That is not really talked about a lot. And it's kind of a depressing show, kind of.
Okay,
It's called Honey and Clover. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of the name. I've never Hachimitsu to Clover. Yeah, I've never seen this
Yes.
one. Also, high sci-fi.
So I'd be shocked if some people like knew this show because this show is hard to watch sometimes.
Hmm.
It's it's really like down to earth and really feels like um kind of like your typical like people that go to college and they like live in this dorm together and they have these interpersonal relationships and um there's love, there's heartbreak there, and a lot of it is dealing with what's the term? It's called katamoy, I think it's called unrequited love or something like that.
Nihongo desu ka?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nani?
uh
Sorry,
the
I
the
guess.
person the person you love loves someone else,
Okay,
and
sure. So, I guess there
and
would be a word for that. Yeah,
yeah, and
it's not one I knew.
and just kind of like trying to find your way in life, I
Hmm.
guess. It's really depressing, and it's also heartwarming at the same time.
Hmm.
It's fascinating, and it's all like centers around this like art college where they're all into art and stuff like that, so they're trying to find their place in life while going through this art college. And um yeah, and even like just love aside, like finding like what you want to do in life,
Hmm.
because the main character goes through an insane transformation in like the episodes. He like at one point like runs away and like goes into like building rebuilding temples and stuff like that because he just couldn't cope with what was going on, and just trying to like find himself. And
Hmm.
it's such a great show. There's
Hmm.
two seasons of it, and um it never like really like made me like sob cry, but it would just make me tear up a bit.
Right. Like you're just like you get like so emotionally invested in like the
Yeah,
cast. Like,
because like the
and
cast feel
that's
like they feel like people, like normal people, like not really characters like a tsundere or whatever those archetypes.
right.
Just
They just like there's like really like good complex like characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even like one of them is kind of like a class clown guy, and he's like really hilarious every time he comes on the screen, but he's actually like deep down the nicest guy and looks out for everyone, and um really just is in everyone's court. If someone like needs help with something, he's like there.
Hmm.
And it's so cool. But yeah, I don't want to spoil too much about it. Well, there
Right.
really isn't much to spoil.
But like
Um,
you'd recommend it pretty strongly.
yeah, I'd recommend it really strongly.
Okay.
It also has a really good art style, so it kind of looks different than some anime out there. It's gonna be a whole lot more mellow. It has a lot of like music in it too, which is nice, like insert songs, and it really makes you feel like you're there kind of.
Huh. Okay.
So yeah, I'd highly recommend the show. And if you ever are looking for like a slice of life show that's kind of about self-discovery and all that,
Right. Okay.
I'd look into it.
Fair enough. And sci how hello Sir Goodsworth, by the way. And sci-fi, to answer your question, I'm with Zaiga tonight. I guess I should. Yeah, that's probably in the description somewhere. But yeah, Zaiga is the man with the not golden gun.
Hello.
Is
I've been a friend of Grayson's for many years.
yeah,
We met in Japan, and we lived together for a while, and then came back, and I couldn't get rid of him.
it's true. So I kept borrowing his anime and not returning them for very long periods of time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's a good trick. It's how I've kept Sagen around too, because I've still got his art books, so he's got to keep talking to me. It's a tried and true tactic to maintain friends. but but no, yeah, we've known each other. I mean, geez, I'm like, because that would have been like what was that 2015? I guess
Yeah,
when we would have met. So I mean, dadgum,
it's been a while.
it's been a hot second.
And I was the one that tried to get you into Final Fantasy 14.
You preached that game to me basically from day one.
Yep.
Like between 14 and like probably like Modica, like
Oh yeah.
I you put all of like your like persuasion skills into like really convincing me to. I mean, 14 ended up being pretty good, so you got one right. So
Yeah.
I I shall now consider all of your opinions at least somewhat for that. But cool. So that's Honey and Clover. That
Yeah, Honey and
that
Clover.
sounds
It's a great
lovely.
show. And yeah, as someone in chat said, like it's kind of like it kind of does have some comparisons to Welcome to the NHK a little bit. Um but I don't think it is as dark and depressing as NHK was.
Hmm. Okay.
NHK was like a different beast. I don't know if you ever saw that one. You wouldn't
I've
like it.
I've heard of it vaguely. It's like about a that's like another like one of those like shows that's like about anime, right? Am I crazy?
Kind of. It's kind of about this like shut in neat guy who this one girl comes over to his house and wants to like get him out of being this deadbeat,
Hmm.
and it gets very dark into like dark themes and all this stuff. It gets very uncomfortable.
Ah, it looks so funny. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a good show. It just
Comedy, drama, romance. Okay. That's psychological, you're right.
yeah,
That's never a good sign.
yeah. It really is a trip. like Smo says. It's a trip.
Psychological dramedy. Oh, okay. Well, fair
Yeah,
enough.
and the guy like I think has some sort of uh maybe like schizophrenia or something like that, and he like sees creatures around him. It's intense. It's intense.
Hmm. Okay.
But
Fair
anyway,
enough.
Honey and Clover is a more like wholesome version of it. That's not dark at all.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
anyway,
Fair, fair.
what is your next one? Or
Sure.
should we take a see what chat thinks?
I mean, I
Chat
think
have one.
chat is generally liking your opinion better, which is a shocking twist on what normally happens.
Oh, is it a shocking twist? I think it's like
I'm
the norm. It
I'm
sounds like the
I'm
norm.
sitting here just stunned at this betrayal. That everyone's talking about Honey and Clover, not the beauty of the most heretical last boss queen. Anyway, so
I mean, one's an isekai, one's not. So obviously, the one that's not gets higher praise.
all right. Well, we'll see. We'll see who wins round two then. So here, I'll let me introduce my next one, which is an isekai. Technically, hey, look at this.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
Welcome to Demon School. Iruma-kun
Do
is
you
the saddest
what
show.
what is this? What is this? This is not
Uh,
this
so
this
as
is
we
not a
all,
sad anime. What are you even
it,
doing right now?
it's the genre's comedy fantasy, which means that we cry all the time. How do I scroll back up?
What is
I've
going
broken it.
on? Like what
Okay,
is this?
so I guess to be entirely clear, like for I guess for this particular pick, it's not really the length of the show itself, like the whole run of it. Although I do love the show a lot. It's a specific episode within the show that's like really stuck with me. Like
Okay.
even in like the years that have gone since I first watched it. And actually, I went back to because I was considering this last night, and so I went back to rewatch that same episode last night to see if it was still like powerful for me, and it still got me choked up, and so that's why I want to talk about it. But it's actually so episode 3 of season 1 introduces a character into the series. I think is pretty divisive, which is Clara. Like, and the episode where she's introduced is an episode where like that makes me cry, basically guaranteed as it turns out, because um so she's another like, and I have this thing where like I like finding these characters that are a little bit more, I don't know, like probably neurodivergent, like when you really get down to like the brass tacks of their character.
Okay.
Because Claire, so like I guess so the general gist of Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun is that Iruma's parents basically sell him to the actual devil, and he moves down to the demon realm, or to a actual devil. I guess not the devil per se, but he gets sold to a devil, and then the devil, the guy's like, "Hey, you're my grandson now, so now you're gonna go to school at demon school. Good luck with that." And it's just like it's a fun, happy-go-lucky comedy about a human having to live with demons and try to make it work. But Clara is one of the characters he meets early on, becomes like a regular cast member, and she's just like this like very hyperactive, very childish kind of character. Like I mean, because I think it's technically a high school they go to. Maybe it's a junior high. I don't know. But she acts extremely childish. She just constantly wants to like play games, and she like can't like focus at all. She's like just super noisy and bombastic. And I think she's very disliked. I think by a good number of the fan base because of how obnoxious she can come across as.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lot of people really don't like her or don't like the show because of her.
Yep.
But I love the episode where she's introduced because it kind of shows that in a really strong way with how um they kind of just like Iruma kind of just like ends up like having to kind of like babysit her essentially, and it kind of starts off with him like kind of like putting up with her, but then like he's like as he spends like the day with her, he kind of realizes that like he kind of like watches how everybody else treats her because like one of her like demon ability, or I guess like her family's ability, is that she has these pockets that can like produce anything that she thinks of, which is a pretty sweet ability. But like a lot of people kind of just like take advantage of her by like just like be like, no, yeah, we totally think you're cool. Give us like some juice or give us these snacks. Or like there's a bunch of people that kind of like just take advantage of her, and she is like she likes the attention, so she's like just does what everybody says, and it kind of comes off as like, oh, she's just like really naive and doesn't get it. But as you get farther into the episode, you kind of realize like she kind of is fully aware that she's being taken advantage of, but she feels like nobody really likes her, and so the only way she can get people to stay with, like, to actually talk to her is like just give them things. And there's a scene because like the whole episode, like she's like constantly giving like Iruma stuff, and there's a scene where like he finally tells like he's like, hey, I don't need anything else, and she starts like crying basically. She's like just completely starts like bawling and losing it because she thinks that he hates her too. And then he talks about how he wants to spend time with her and not like he doesn't want the gifts. He just wants to be able to hang out with her. And he becomes her first real friend. And it makes me cry almost as hard as Clara every time I watch it. It's a really really good episode about a I don't know, and like it's just I don't know, it makes me feel like I can really I don't know, photosynthesize with it because I had a lot of trouble making friends when I was a kid, so
Yeah.
it's I don't know.
Well, I can't imagine why because of
Man,
opinions like you have.
I know I'm so knowledgeable and smart, and nobody wanted to talk to me in recess. Can you believe it?
I know,
It's
right?
absurd. I was like, guys, what aliens, right? And they're like, go away, we're playing Foursquare. And I was like, no, but ghosts.
Yeah, I feel you there. It was kind of like the same for me. So,
So
I
I don't know.
actually saw. I've only seen 7 episodes of this, then I dropped it.
Right.
But I do remember that episode. That was a pretty good episode.
Right. I mean, it's definitely like, I mean, because it is like, by and large, it's a very goofy show. It's like, you kind of like, you're kind of on board with it or you're not. Like, it's not for everyone. But,
Yeah.
some of the characters in the show are very strong. Like I feel like the main villain from season one was excellent as well. He's a really, really fascinating villain. But anyway, that's enough of that. So that is technically a show that made me cry, but specifically, I guess, one episode that really got me. So yeah, that's that one.
All right, cool. Well,
Uh, and Yiggy, I think correct on what you're suggesting. The fireworks guy, I believe that's anyway. So yeah,
well,
what's your next?
well, I could say that Clara in this one doesn't have a big robot to help her out. So
Yeah,
automatically that just makes her even worse.
yeah, so rude.
And those who know that reference will know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, you would if you would play the games I play, but you don't.
I don't because you play silly games.
Do I?
You play gotcha hell. But
Oh
anyway.
yeah. Oh yeah. Sir Goodsworth was talking about Cashew Sins. I
Oh,
remember I
sure.
saw that.
I have not heard of this one actually.
You haven't heard of that one?
I don't doesn't sound familiar.
I
Let me
remember I saw it once. Um
hmm.
it was it was a pretty good show, I believe. I think we saw it in our group before you came in.
Hmm.
Um, I can't really tell you what it's about because I don't really remember. Um, but it was kind of like this dark show about like fighting robots and stuff like that, and one
Hmm.
guy fighting them, and but I can't really say too much about it because I it's been so long. It's been so long, and I've seen way too much, and things get muddled.
Hmm.
But it was a good show. I remember coming out of it thinking it was good. So, and according to my list, never mind. But
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
11 out of 10 on your list.
Oh yeah. It was a little bit on my list.
Cool. Cool.
Let's not talk about it.
End of the world show. Fun. Fun. Says Sir Goodsworth.
Yeah, end of the world where the robots are dying because of rusting. Yeah, that's kind of like what it's about.
Okay.
Speaking
Fair enough.
speaking of end of the world,
End of the world as we know it.
well, it's not really the end of the world kind of show,
Do
but
you feel fine then?
it's one show it's talked about a lot, and it's a mainstream show.
Mainstream on my
Yeah,
anime podcast.
it's recent.
Recent.
Can you guess? I don't
I
think you can
couldn't
guess.
possibly.
It's one that you will never watch, and we've talked about it. We've said that you can't watch it because you wouldn't
I'm,
survive it.
I'm not allowed to watch it. Oh.
Yeah, it's called Made in Abyss. Yeah.
Oh right. This silly show.
Yes, Made in Abyss.
Yeah. I remember I watched the first, yeah, I have it on hold after episode 3.
Now,
So
Made
I
in Abyss
sensed danger.
for the people who haven't watched it yet, it's a fantastic show. Um, it's very dark. It's about two people that live right next to this big giant hole in the ground, and that hole is extremely deep and like goes on forever. And um, there's like different like layers that they go through, and every time they get lower and lower, it just the despair and just everything just gets kicked up to 100 because it's just such a terrible place. And they're trying to survive in this place while trying to get to the bottom. And they
Hmm.
can't go back because if they ascend at all, they get violently sick. And if you ascend even more than that, if you like keep going, then you basically turn into goop
Neat.
and you're still alive. You're just goop.
Even better.
Yeah.
So,
And it has like at the end of season one has like basically the saddest like 3 or 4 episodes that I've seen in a long time.
yikes.
It's it's kind of the backstory of the girl with the bunny ears, and she and her like friend like went through like hell.
Hmm.
There was like a lot of like experiments going on to see like how a human body can take going from the like a bottom floor to like the top like really fast,
Hmm.
and it's
It
it's
worked
not fun to
perfectly.
watch. It's not fun to watch.
Yikes.
It's really not, and it's so sad. But the whole show is so great because of the world building.
Hmm.
Um, because it makes it feel like everything's alive and real, and just the way how they explain like everything is so detailed. Like you could tell
Hmm.
that the author like really, really put their heart and soul into the environment. Because
Hmm.
every time when they go down to a new layer, it's like this whole different world with this whole different values and um, systems in it.
Hmm.
And it's really fantastic to watch because it's like, oh, what is it going to be like when they get all the way down? Or um, what is what is down there? What dangerous thing are they going to encounter next? How are they going to survive?
Hmm.
And they're just kids and they're trying to survive in this like harsh land, and it's frightening sometimes.
Hmm.
And because like it could get like really, really like nightmare fuel.
Hmm.
So it made me cry a few times with some of the backstories of some characters, like Nanachi, the girl with the bunny ears,
Hmm.
and um but yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's not a you show.
Yeah.
Uh, you would not enjoy it at all. But
No, I kind of that's why I dropped it at 3 episodes because like I was kind of sniffing
yeah,
problems, but
it is grim dark, like sci-fi. Uh, uh, that term, I would call it grim dark.
fair.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my second one.
Yeah. Seems like a good choice.
Yeah, really good show. Um, it, if you want, it kind of makes me feel like it's like a Dungeons and Dragons quest sometimes, like they're going through these like worlds and stuff.
Hmm.
It kind of like brings me that feeling, kind of like what
Okay,
would it be
interesting.
like if like uh, uh there was a campaign or something that was kind of like this. And I don't know, it's just really cool. I think the author is so talented, like um yeah, just so much talent is coming from him that I
Hmm.
just can't wait to see more.
Fair.
So
Is the
yeah,
manga still ongoing or has it finished?
I believe it's still ongoing, yeah, but
Okay,
it's ongoing like really slowly
sure. That happens sometimes.
because I think the anime like caught up to where the manga was, and they announced like a new season, but they have to wait a while until more stuff comes out.
Right, there's like enough to adapt.
Yeah.
Hmm. Fair, fair,
Oh yeah.
fair is fair.
Debbie mentions Ergo Proxy. Yeah,
I
I
think I
remember
have
that one.
heard of this one. I think I saw the first episode of this one.
I wouldn't call that one a sad show, but it's more like grimdark,
Okay.
grimdark
Mystery
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember seeing like the first episode of this at some point.
yeah, I remember that there was a lot of episodes later on that like made no sense and was kind of just like a mind trip. But
Right. Hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah,
Sir Goodser says it was very good. Loved the story. Had a good animation. Fair. Fair enough.
what is your third one?
We're all going to be absolutely stunned about this next isekai I'm going to talk. I'm kidding.
Oh no. Are you kidding? Are you?
Oh, am I? You'll never know. All right, will you? It's Tante wa mo shindeiru. It's the detective is already dead. Which I think I've talked about the detective is already dead several times.
I'm
It's
AFK.
yeah, that's fair. It's a show that I have an unreasonable love for, despite its many, 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 many flaws. Um,
I
but
mean, I mean, it's rated a 6.3.
I mean, it's not the worst rating I've seen, but it's definitely like this. This was a highly divisive anime when it was running, and it was mostly divided between me and everyone else in terms of people who liked it. It seemed like, yeah, Hatuna, it's my waifu. It's Siesta. Um, so yeah, I mean, and this is honestly this is a show that made me cry nearly the whole way through. Like not necessarily like every episode, but like a big part of the show is that it follows like the grieving process of the main character. And so like the sadness kind of comes in waves, like with the grief, like because I guess I mean this isn't a spoiler, hence because it's the name, but basically the premise of the show is that the detective Siesta is dead, and by the time the show properly starts, she's already dead, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
And so and so the show really revolves around her sidekick Kimizuka, and basically like what he's trying to do with his life after she dies, as he kind of like slowly comes to terms with the realization that she's gone forever, and it's kind of like he like kind of like has to like figure out like these like feelings that he had for her that are like kind of just like unresolved now. He has to like come to terms with that, um, which is the part of the show I really love. And then there's kind of everything else in the show that's kind of like really nonsensical and like ridiculous as far as like the actual like episode to episode action.
Yeah.
Because basically like she dies and then it's like kind of up to him to try to stop this like secret organization from taking over the world, because why shouldn't they do that, I guess. um and I guess because for me, like, I mean, the whole show is like really sad. Like, well, it's not really a sad show, but like again, it's like the waves of like there's like these like things that'll periodically happen that kind of like freshly remind him that she's gone, and it kind of like, and like every time like that kind of happens, like it just like reopens that wound of like he's sad and I'm sad and we're all crying. And we're just but like episode 2 is one I went back and rewatched episode 2 actually before we started the podcast today, and episode 2 still made me cry. And I would have watched the last episode, but that one devastates me. And so I was like, I don't want to watch that one again, at least not right now. So um but it's a really it's not a show I can recommend easily, because it's got a lot of stuff going on that's like maybe not for everyone, but it's got a really good core cast, I feel like, because the girl he meets after Siesta dies has a really great backstory, and there's lots of really good twists and turns in the tale without getting, because I don't want to spoiler things. But I mean, I also like, I don't know if I can really recommend you go watch this one. Like I love it to
Yeah.
pieces, but like it's a tough sell because it's a bit over the top, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I still remember the day the last episode aired, because we were recording that day or something like that for the
yeah.
podcast. And then you were kind of like, you were talking about it or something like that, and then you would start to get emotional, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it's that kind of show for you.
it really like whatever there is about the show, like it really hits me, like it really made me feel it, like, because I think I watched like the final 3 episodes like back to back to back, and I was just destroyed. but like it's like not like a. I mean, because like the final episodes like are like really sad, but like there's also like this like really kind of like this bittersweet kind of hope to it as well, and
Yeah.
it just like all blends together and just like this really just I don't know. I mean, I was fully sold on it, so like I was able to really get into it, but
And it's getting a season 2.
it is, and I am super excited because I thought for sure season two would never happen because everyone hated it, like basically. I think the light novels have sold really well because the light novel version of the story is better. I will say, like the anime could have done a better job of adapting it.
As they always do.
Yeah, I mean
They did
that's
that
not
they
it's
did
not
that with my
unusual.
favorite show.
Yeah, so I mean it's not unusual. Yeah, I mean the light novels are great. I think there's also a manga. I want to say that they started adapting as well. I haven't read the manga, so I can't confirm how that one compares. But it's a it's a good strange show, and I really liked the '90s look, Debbie. Just to answer your question, like for anime styles.
For me, I like current.
That's true. You don't look back. I forgot. You're
Yeah.
you're you're forward facing.
My favorite era was the 2000s.
That's
Yeah, the
fair.
2000s.
There was some good stuff there.
Yeah, and the 2010s, I think, like the early 2010s.
Okay,
Those were all my favorites. But I'm not really a 90s and 80s anime guy.
totally fair. Yeah, I mean, I guess, and I just liked how there was. It feels like the farther you get to the present, the more anime kind of becomes homogenized. I mean, because like I feel like '90s had some really good distinct ones. I feel like even like the '80s, like when the '80s, like the good budget like OVAs of the day, like they were really nice to look at.
Yeah.
Just because like like even though it's like older hand drawn animation, like the amount of detail it's like in each of those cells is crazy.
Yeah, I agree. It is really good to look at.
It's like honestly, like I'm hoping that like I mean the trend is like anime is like looking visually better and better. I hope that it eventually gets back around to like it starts being that detailed again because I feel like because like once I feel like once anime kind of switched to like computers and like kind of like kind of doing like preset like models and stuff to kind of keep things consistent, like a lot of like nice detail got lost. Like things became more bland. There was like a
Yeah.
lot less going on in the world in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that could be said for a bunch of shows that come out, like the lower budget ones that come out nowadays.
Yeah, you can always tell a low budget one because it's like wow, it's like why are there only ever like four people on the screen at any given time? Like like I
And
think
then
even like a was it
yeah.
Sawdust on My that like specifically like instead of like having people they just like had sticks moving around like as like
Oh
a
yeah,
joke
yeah.
like a joke to be like
Mawaru Penguin Drum had that too.
yeah they just like they straight up like what we're just embracing the fact that we're not even trying on that or like we're saving the budget for other stuff
Yeah.
but yeah so
Okay,
yeah
cool. Yeah, I
let's
knew this was going to be one of yours.
yeah it,
I knew it.
this one makes me ugly cry so I had to meant that's why I guess I'd put this like as my number one. I mean it is like it's still like even a few years later this is still like my favorite anime of all time
All right.
so
Well, my next one, um, it's so hard to choose. Like I could pick one that I could ugly cry with. That's like low hanging fruit that have been
yeah
talked about forever. Like I can mention One Piece. I can mention Clannad. You know,
Clannad
those,
piece.
yeah, both of those are like ones that obviously are, um, you know,
Right. Well, I mean, Clannad is like I've never seen it, but I know it's infamous. And
yeah,
One Piece has some really powerful episodes. Like,
yes, yes, it
like,
does.
I can like think of like a good handful just off the top of my head of like just really emotional moments.
Oh yeah, and
So that's totally fair.
yeah, there's so much of it, and yeah. So I could take those low hanging fruit, like, yeah, as Smo said, like Your Lie in April as well. That's
Anohana.
another that's another low hanging fruit. Though
Ascenders.
Anohana didn't make me cry. Uh,
Heart of Stone. I've never seen it, so I
no,
don't know.
it was because I didn't really like the final episode. I think.
Mm, you didn't like
Um,
finding out what the flower was. I don't know. Is
no,
that how it ends?
it's it
They look it up in a book
it
like, oh, that's the one we saw.
we'd have to talk about it on another time because
That's
it,
fine.
it's 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 kind of like a can of worms, and I don't really want to ruffle the boat. But it was a good show. It was a good show.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Um, one that I can think of off the top of my head. Um, I guess because I'm trying to decide between three right now, and one makes me like happy tears or whatever, like just feel good.
Sure.
And then another one's kind of like sad but also feel good, and the other one's the same. And it's just like, all right, I'll just choose. I'll just choose.
Just flip the three
Well,
sided coin.
it'll be the Arya series that I've talked about before.
Wow, I never would have guessed.
See, you picked your favorite. Now I picked my favorite.
I mean, I guess that's fair. Fair beans.
Arya the Origination. Yeah, that top one.
Oh, the
Arya
top
the
one?
Origination.
The origination, not the animation?
Yeah, the Origination season three, and that's the one that.
That's the one that
If
gets the prize.
someone knows this series in chat, you have like my complete, and I will bow to you
Right.
because not many people know this one.
I will say I think you showed me like the first like 5 or 6 episodes. I really liked it, actually. It had good
Yeah,
vibes.
it is. It's a Yashikike, which is basically means a relaxing anime.
Right.
And this show has been in my top 10, actually top 5, in like number 1, sometimes in number 1 through 3. It kind of like varies.
Hmm.
Essentially what the series is about, for those who don't know, it's about three girls, well, one girl who goes to this Venice replica, which is on Mars.
As you
And
do.
yeah, as you do. Because like Mars was like terraformed to be this water planet, and in this water planet they made like a Venice replica,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and so she goes and lives in this Venice replica and learns to become a undine, which is basically a gondolier,
Hmm. Hmm.
just
Hmm.
one of those tour guide gondolier people, and um, that's basically the whole show, and it's about her becoming that. And what I find so great about this show is that season one, you're kind of like, you get into the world and it has like some sort of mystique about it, because it's a little otherworldly. And then um, also, it's just very relaxing. And there is zero conflict in the entire show. Like there is there really isn't even any drama at all either. It's just something you could like sit back and relax to.
Right.
And season one was great for that. And then season two kind of like brought out that mystique and kind of like explored it a bit more of just like these odd little occurrences that happen. But the main character like always tries to find that silver lining of like happiness and everything and
Hmm.
good things and everything. So it's always good vibes. And then season three, so you're like at this point you're like super into like all the characters. And season three, you're is kind of like the wrap up where they quote unquote graduate or they're like growing up. And there's like this one moment that like always brings me to tears when like one of them graduates, and it's it's like a shocking moment, but it's such a like beautiful moment as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then um near the end too, on the last like episodes, that like also hits me hard because I'm like so invested in these characters of like how they like interact with each other, how they're kind of like family. And
Right.
then at the end they kind of have to like leave. They kind of have to separate.
Hmm.
And one has to stay and the other one is moving on with their life. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I've I'm such a purveyor of this series. I've talked about it so much. I don't know if I've talked about it enough on this podcast. I think I have before when we were talking about our favorites.
Yeah, you've mentioned it at least once, but yeah, not too much yet.
Yeah, overall, just it's just something very relaxing to watch, and you're gonna smile throughout the whole thing, and also cry sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's probably my number one. Is right
Fair.
there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good choice.
The ones that were close for me, kind of like runner ups,
Sure, sure. Honorable
uh,
mentions.
was Kimi ni Todoke, from Me to You,
Okay.
which is a shoujo anime, a romance shoujo anime.
Hmm.
People know this one as Sparkles and Bubbles, because yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, sparkles and bubbles. You're right. Man.
um, yeah, Kimi ni Todoke. It's a beautiful series. The manga made me sob at this like one part, um, where like this person who was a bully, like at the very beginning of the series, finally just like has their moment where they're like, I am so sorry I did this. I was such a terrible person. And I like sobbed my like heart out reading
Yeah.
that part in the manga. I was inconsolable for a while.
Oh no.
But overall, like this series just has like a lot of like happy cry moments, and like when the characters get together, you're just like, or yeah, when they get together, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like the greatest thing ever. And I like replay that section a whole lot, but
Yeah. Fair.
but yeah, this one's one of my runner ups.
Okay. Fair. Sounds like a good one.
What's one of yours?
Sure. I guess for my runner up, I'll go ahead and mention this one. Violet Evergarden. The this show, I can think of at least like three episodes that really really got me. Like this show, like the whole way through, is just like an emotional gut punch constantly.
Oh yeah, the last episode like really gets you.
Oh man,
The final movie or whatever it was called.
like I haven't worked up the gumption to watch the movie because I know it's just gonna make me
Oh my
sad
gosh.
again. Like, I
It's
don't know if
like
I can do that to myself.
the last episode is just oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking, but it's also like it's great.
Right. Yes. I mean, I guess the premise of Violet Evergarden is that it kind of takes place like in a pseudo. It's kind of like a pseudo Earth. It's like an alternate kind of version of history where it's like it's post World War I, like or like essentially like what would be World War I for like this world, and it's just like just sad. I don't know. Like she's a veteran from that war. I think all of her limbs, right? She loses both her arms in the war. Did she lose her legs too? I can't remember.
I
I think
think it
just her
was just
arms.
the arms.
Just
Yeah.
the arms, but she loses both her arms in the war. She gets refitted with like, Full Metal Alchemist automail, basically. And then she gets a job like writing letters on behalf of people because it's like a world where like literacy's not very high. And so she basically has a job where like she writes letters for people. And through the process of like writing these letters for people, she like starts learning about because like she doesn't have like she's like so emotionally like just dead from the war that she's got like she's like never like had emotions. Like it's like a whole yeah, there's a whole thing. I can't remember it too well.
Yeah.
But basically through the process like these writing these letters for other people, like she kind of like starts like learning emotions again. And it's devastating. There's a lot of really sad stuff. Like there's a lot of really happy episodes. Like there's episodes like make you happy cry. There's episodes that make you like very sad cry. And then there's like there's I guess the movie and or was it like a Christmas special too, I think that like there's
Yeah, the final movie or whatever it was, that one hurt. That one hurt a whole lot.
it's just it's a rough show, but like it's also just like it gives you a lot of like hope like throughout the whole course of it because like she kind of slowly heals as a person and like through the work she does like she's kind of helping other people heal.
Yeah.
So like it's got like this like really like hopeful undertone to all the terribleness, but
Yeah.
it's it's just good. It's a good one for sure.
Yeah, I would totally like uh add this in my honorable mentions as well because I've rated this one really high too.
Right?
Well, it
It's
never made me sob uncontrollably. It has a lot of sad moments in it.
right. I mean, it gets you very invested in what's happening.
Yeah.
Just like the world building is really good. It's just like it's a solid recommendation across the board. Really, like it's just worth watching.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Sense of None. That's what it was. She's raised as like she's basically like brainwashed from a child to be like a human weapon. So that's like why she doesn't really have like a lot of like emotional cognizance. But thank you, Sense. I knew there was like some kind of thing to it I couldn't quite remember, but
Um Oh, another one kind of in the same vein as Violet Evergarden that I can mention as an honorable mention would
mm-hmm.
be A Silent Voice.
I
That one was really rough to watch.
this one was a movie, right?
Yes, this was a movie.
Okay.
Um, it's a fantastic movie. about a girl who is deaf, and there's this one kid in her class that bullies her
Mm.
because she was deaf. And
Cool. Good move.
um, then at one moment, the t- the tables get like turned, and like he like injures her or something. I think or something like that, and then everyone starts to bully him about it. And then
Mm.
he grows up, and he like is like in this deep depression because of what he did, and he tries to reconcile with her and kind of like become her friend, even though that he did all these horrible things. He's like tries to move on from it and become a better person. And it's really hard to watch. It's really hard to watch,
Hmm.
but it's very good. It's very good.
Huh. Fair enough. Yeah, this is one I've
But
never seen. I've heard of a little bit, but
yeah,
hmm.
yeah. As like Sense of None said, it is totally. You go into it thinking it's going to be a love story, but it's not. It is about loving yourself and like trying to
Wow.
find yourself.
It's about finding the katana of self-respect.
Yes.
Incredible.
Um.
But
Yeah.
okay.
Another one I was going to mention, just really quick in passing.
Oh, sure.
Uh, Fruits Basket. Obviously, the newer Fruits Basket. That too. 10 out of 10 show. Really
It's
good.
pretty good. I still need to finish this one. I saw 2 episodes of it.
Yes.
Those first 2 episodes are really good.
Yeah, the final episodes are like it does bring a tear to my eye still. Those final episodes. Like it is a very sad show, and um I I really liked the ending of the new season of new series.
Mm.
It stayed true to the manga really well. But the biggest thing that I think was that I wanted to mention from it was the spin-off movie.
Hmm.
That one kind of messed me up a whole lot.
Uh-oh. That's not
Um,
good.
basically, there was this like side manga about her mom and kind of like how Toru's mom met her dad, and that, um, yeah, it was called Fruits Basket Prelude, I believe it was called, and it's kind of just a spin-off movie, and it was so sad. I remember I was like, I had the box of tissues right next to me because of the whole thing. But it was such a great story and a great like um prelude. This what's called that.
Mm-hmm.
Good start to the series, or kind of like more background on the mom and the dad. It was really good.
Hmm. Fair enough.
Anyway, do you have any more quick honorable mentions?
Uh,
'Cause I like stole two in there really quick.
that's right. And maybe I'll throw this one out here because I am thinking of it, but maybe we can get more into this one. I believe this is a Ghibli film unless I'm crazy. Yeah, it is. This is a Ghibli film, but Grave of the Fireflies. We've all seen
Isn't
it.
it?
We've all been sad.
Is it a Ghibli movie?
It is Studio Ghibli.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Oh,
There
yeah,
you go.
this might be low hanging fruit too.
I mean, this is the lowest hanging fruit. This is the movie like everyone's seen, and everyone was forever traumatized by the end. So
Yeah.
I I had the special like I don't know what my teacher like in seventh grade. My teacher had us watch this for like our social studies period one time because he said it was a good way to get like other perspectives on World War II or something.
Yeah.
I remember just like watching me like just really sad. Like it's like I don't know if I learned anything. I'm just sad now. Like, but like I mean it's great for the Fireflies. I feel like pretty much everyone's seen this in one way at some point or other. Like it's one of those films that just happens. It's it's just World War II from the perspective of like two children living in Japan, and it
Yeah.
just sucks the whole way through. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, and that kind of leads into because I think Studio Ghibli for next steps it'll be fun. So we're gonna go into this one too deep right now, but
Here,
I figure
I'll
I'll just throw this out as like this one. This is probably the first anime I ever saw that like did make me cry because like I mean like seventh grade like it was pretty early on. And Debbie, yes, this is the same studio that is Princess Mononoke.
Here, I'll be right back. You can catch up with chat.
Sure thing. Uh, Spin off like the three Evangelion endings that confuse me. Oh yeah, Debbie, don't you like how Evangelion technically has like three different timelines depending on which like films or shows you watch? Isn't that a fun thing to do for a series? Just to make it really nice and cohesive for the fan base. But so yeah, I guess does anybody have any other sad ones they want to throw out? I think Sir Goods just kept mentioning something called 86. I started looking it up. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if you were suggesting this in relation to being a sad anime or just being similar to something else. I think you were saying it was maybe similar to Violet Evergarden or something. Sci-fi says really? Question mark. Really? What sci-fi? Really, really? Oh, for Evangelion. Oh, Evangelion's timeline is a crap shot. If that's the question you're asking. Like as someone who's watched basically, I think I've seen everything Evangelion has in its series timeline. It is bonkers. Yeah, Evangelion. Yeah, because technically speaking, there's Evangelion the TV series, right? And then there was the OVA like movie kind of thing called The End of Evangelion, which basically rewrote the ending of the original TV series. And then we had the 4-part movie series that came out like within the last 10 years. Um, and those movies are like a whole other thing that I have bitter, angry feelings about.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, Debbie's, wartime anime. So 86 is about wartime anime. Okay. Hey, Zaiga.
I just had to
Only
refill my
watched the
water.
miniseries so far, so films are next when I have the time. So, oh, for Evangelion. Evangelion, I think you will enjoy half of the Evangelion movies quite a bit. And the other half of them, maybe less. But I'll leave that up to you to decide. um, uh,
Are
what's
we
your
ever gonna
quick?
do? Are we gonna do the Evangelion podcast again?
Oh, I would love to do an Evangelion dive again. Like we'd probably have to do spoiler warnings because I think that one would be really hard to not get spoilery about. But gall, I still have emotions, angry ones. But and 86 is similar things to Event Evergarden, but just reversed. Fair enough. Obviously, just pick an ending you like. I assume. Yeah, I mean, with Evangelion, you basically just like pick a stopping point where you like the story, and then just enjoy that as being your true ending.
Yeah. We
Like,
we we can talk forever about how much we don't like 3.
3 makes me So upset.
It makes me really upset too.
It curdles my blood and sours my soul. But um, that really should probably be a whole other discussion.
Yeah, that's Evangelion's like a huge can of worms because it's very divisive, and it's like the original series and like the end of Evangelion, then the rebuilds. It's just it's a whole thing.
It is a thing. Hatun is into emotionally damaging anime. This was the episode for you, Hatun. Dedicated to the Kester out there. Didn't Big O end the same? Big O. I don't remember how that show ended actually. I watched that one a long time ago, like when it was airing on Adult Swim,
Yeah.
and I can't hardly remember anything about it. I did like it. I thought it was cool, but yeah. So I think that's pretty much gonna be it for us for today's episode. Here, let me. Oh, the computer's gone. Issei Pod. I don't think that's ever going to catch on, but I like that
I
for
don't,
being the shorthand of the name.
yeah, I don't think it will catch on, but you know.
Issei Pod, guys. It's on a t-shirt. All right, we'll see you, Sci-Fi Freak. It turns out I even
Yeah,
own
it
the
was nice
DVD
seeing
box
you,
at
sci-fi freak.
Escaflowne.
You have a good night.
86 is basically Terminator, but spiders and much darker implications of using people's spare parts. Hmm, fun. Yeah, I never saw 86, so. Hatun says Gray's cringe anime takes the podcast. Call. That one, I don't think that one doesn't have a very clean acronym either, Hatun. Debbie says fun chill. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Debbie. Been fun seeing you more often. And thanks for everybody hanging out tonight. We had a good crowd coming for anime today, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's been fun chattering with y'all. And I appreciate that everyone was so respectful and equally supportive of me and Zaiga's opinions on anime tonight. Big preach.
So
Wish that.
so I think Hatun knows who the winner was this time.
Should we put it to a vote in the chat? We'll see who the real winner is then. But yeah, so
But
this was fun though. Thanks everybody for hanging out.
so
Cool.
what will you be up to this week?
Right. I believe, and if Smo is still around, he could confirm. But I think on Friday we'll be doing more Yakuza 0, which will be pretty cool. Ah, dang it, my throat. Sorry, just a second.
Drink some water. It's water time.
Yeah, so I think Friday we'll be playing Yakuza 0. And then Sunday is more Final Fantasy 14. I know that for sure. Saturday, I need to figure out for sure what's going to happen. 'Cause I might be busy Saturday evening. And if that's the case, then I either need to reschedule what we do for Saturday stream, or just maybe cancel entirely, depending. Because it has been Elden Ring with a handful of other folks, and so if we can all adjust for a different time, then maybe we can still do it. If not, then maybe we have to not do it. But and then I think I've got another. This is goodbye. Whoever said that. I don't know if that worked. Did that not play on the? Sir Goodsworth, I'm not sure if that played on the stream, did it? Just played a sound effect that said goodbye. Sense of Nonsense, how at Issei Cast? Issei Cast's not bad. That could fit on a coffee mug. That's what we're all about here is the sweet merch, right? It's like
Oh yeah, sweet merch.
I'm gonna get Zaiga decked out from head to toe, and so he can like bike around and advertise our podcast. So he's green his garage with anime knowledge. Everyone's got such bad anime titles. Cartoon says it glitched. It got echoed. Oh, it was chopped. Interesting. Okay, I'll need to fix that. I wondered if it was gonna. Okay, I'll look into that because yeah, it sounded weird to me. Man, I guess it never goes to Discord, so I don't know if Zag ever hears them. But
I do not hear anything.
yeah, sorry about that, Sir Goodsworth. We'll figure that out. But yeah, so I think that's it. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say is Thursday. There's a second video coming out this week. I'm doing 2 videos this week because I'm so productive. I'm trying to be better about animating or like editing content more because I want to put out more videos and it's fun. So that's happening, and I think that's it. What are you doing, Zyga? You streaming?
That's really funny. That's really funny.
We're gonna get you eventually. I'll even
I
let
don't
you
know.
stream Blue Archive or whatever it is you play. I'll meet you halfway on this.
I mean, I don't know if people would be interested in watching me play that stuff.
It'll be really fun watching you do your daily rolls and come out with nothing. It'll be thrilling.
So yeah, I don't really do much. Like as some people know, I just play 2 gotcha games, and then uh I always debate on whether or not to stream or not, but I don't know.
I mean, it's been clearly demonstrated time and again that everyone likes you more on this podcast. So I think
I don't know about that.
the sheer amount of sass I receive.
But yeah, I've been playing more Final Fantasy because of the Mog Tome thing.
Oh, sure,
Um,
sure. Are there any good goodies this time around?
yeah, there's a lot of good goodies.
Shoot, I need to make time for that. I don't know when I'm going to make time for it, but I'd like to.
The best way how to do it is just to press, just to do Alliance Roulette every day.
Sure. Guess that'd be a start. I just gotta. Cause I think it'll be live for like this. We can talk about this later, I guess. But yeah, someday.
I if you're playing Final Fantasy 14 and you haven't joined our FC yet, you should join our FC.
Yeah, we got a
Even
cool
though
FC.
even though we don't, not a lot of people talk and stuff like that, it would be nice to have more people.
You're really selling it.
Nice. It'd give me more motivation to be on more.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being all honest, like I really don't like the game right now. So
Yeah.
like anything to do with more people would be great. New patch will be coming soon next month.
Yeah, more of that
So
sweet content you love, right?
yeah, the sweet one and done content. I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's gonna be so fun.
So much fun. Just I'm on the Dawn Trail waiting game. I'm waiting for Dawn Trail. Like
Yeah.
if I could unsub, I would. Like I would unsub for the rest of the expansion. But I have 2 houses I need to keep.
Yeah.
One
Oh yeah.
will stay forever, but the other one, The other one I have to log in.
Like, how often do you have to log in to keep your house?
Um, I think it's like once a month.
Okay, so not absurd, but fairly frequently.
Yeah. And my
Cartoon,
second house is a mansion, and I really don't want to lose that. I paid 50
yeah,
million for it.
yeah, it's lonely in your mansion.
Yes,
You're just
it,
sitting
it
there on your
is.
bags of money.
My growing bags of money, which will be growing soon.
Yeah. So, all right. So this was a fun podcast. So thanks everybody for hanging out. It sounds like we've got our next idea for next time, and we do. I guess I should mention we do this bi-weekly, like every other week, typically, unless that changes, in which case it will. But for now, I think that's what it is, right?
Oh, and Debbie, you want to know the saddest part? The saddest part is that I have the mansion, but it's practically empty.
Yeah. Where's all your fancy furniture? And
That's
and
the
you're like 7 or 8 indentured cat girls that serve you.
I got the mansion back in November, and I only decorated one floor, and then I like lost track of time,
Yeah, because there's
and
so much else to do in the game, right?
no, I lost track of time with other things.
Okay.
So I have the unfurnished mansion, like only like one half of the top floor is furnished.
Jeepers.
And then I have the FC house that I bought, which is a medium, and it does it has barely anything in it too.
I haven't even been inside the FC house this year, I don't think. I'll be completely honest. Um, so that's a real good plug for the FC that you should totally join. Jeepers.
Hey, I mean, uh, Debbie, if you want to, I mean, if you join our FC, I could give you I could let you decorate our medium.
Yeah. Davies is hire her designer. Hatun says, Hatun, I play 4 hours a week. I play so much 14.
You want to know something funny? You actually have been playing more than me.
Yeah, see? Hatun, you need to respect me. Dag nabbit. Actually, I'm
uh,
curious to know, like, if there's anybody out there who plays 14 on the same consistency I do, but is like even slower than me. Because I played every single week for like a year and a half, and I'm just finishing Storm Blood.
oh,
Ridiculous.
Hatoon, for the longest time, I only log in and then do um I call it try for alliance,
Yeah.
and I queue into alliance roulette, and then if I get any of the crystal tower raids, I leave and turn off the game.
But they're so fun. Why wouldn't you want to do Circus Tower again?
No, I'm never doing those again. I'm never doing those again.
But Labyrinth of the Ancients.
No, no, no. I can't do them ever again. I
But isn't
the
it fun
game
watching everybody ignore mechanics even though they should also play that a million times?
I hate steamrolling through mechanics. I like playing the game and like having fun playing the game. So like doing like a level 50 rotation is just so boring to me. And not only that, there's zero mechanics, and not only that, it's over too quickly. And not only that, I not only those things, but I've done those raids so many times in previous expansions for relics that I just every time get in them, I get mad.
Yeah. But think of all
So,
the good memories.
oh no, there's never any good memories. All the bad memory, all the The memories have been gone. They've been taken away.
Yeah. That's so sad.
But yeah, that's all I do is I try for Alliance, and if I get a fun one, I play it, and if I don't, I log off.
So rude.
Because I lost my raid group a while ago, because I got a new job and I couldn't play during their times. So I lost a raid group, and I haven't been able to find a new one because I've been unsure about my new job, about this quote unquote new job. So I've kind of been in the dark. So I haven't really been playing. I've just been playing Honkai Star Rail instead. So
Yeah.
it's sad, but I'm hoping that if this new job gets finalized, I can play more
Yeah. Fair enough.
and get a raid group, because I really want to get a raid group going for maybe an ultimate, like Uwu or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ultima weapon, ultimate Uwu.
Ooh. Fair enough.
Yeah, I kind of want to get a group for that, and uh but I need to figure out my job situation first.
That's
Anyway,
understandable.
that's what's going on with me.
Fair, fair. Well, I think that's probably good enough for us to go ahead and end this.
Oh, it's
But
speaking of crying stuff. I just you mentioned Blue Archive, and I was crying on Blue Archive.
were your rolls that bad?
No, the story was so good. The
I
story was so good.
refuse to believe that. I
It
think
was
you're
actually really it was actually really good. Oh
think
my
you're
gosh.
lying to me. Can't be true.
It's
It
so
was
true.
impossible.
It's not. They like uh finished like a big arc of like a story,
Mm-hmm.
um which was called it was like the final where all miracles begin, and it was just so it was it made me cry a few times.
Yeah.
Just because the ending was just so great. I loved it.
Fair. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Anyway, um this was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, I like doing these podcasts. It's fun. It's a different thing to do. So thanks for joining us, Zaiga.
Yeah, no problem. I'm always glad to be here.
Okay. And thank you, most of chat, aside from the two or three who shall not be named for their rudeness. Um, this was delightful. I think we've all had ourselves a good cry together. We're stronger for it. And yeah, we'll see y'all at the next thing we do. Debbie says, "Nice chatting. Peace. People will have to look for you, Zyga."
Yeah, I believe we're on Seraph on the
Yes,
Dynamis server.
Dynamis Seraph.
Dynamis
Yeah.
Seraph.
Debbie says, "Catching the next stream." Hattoon says, "Thank you for stream, except you, Cray." Hattoon, I can't believe you'd betray us like betray me. Lum says, "Thanks, guys." Hey, bye, Lum.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was nice
yeah,
to meet everyone.
yeah. We'll catch y'all later. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Farewell.
Bye.